Hello everyone, welcome to Saigenix. We are back with the latest and most important cybersecurity news. Let's begin with the headlines for the day. Atlassian Confluence servers hacked via zero-day vulnerability. CISA warns of critical vulnerabilities in Illumina genetic analysis devices. Hundreds of Elasticsearch databases targeted in ransom attacks. Browser-in-the-browser extortion scam makes victims pay by imitating Indian government. Foxconn confirms ransomware attack struck its Mexico facility. US warns organizations of Karakor cyber extortion group. Subscribe to Saigenix channel and click on the bell icon to stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity news. Atlassian Confluence servers hacked via zero-day vulnerability. According to Atlassian, Confluence server and data center are affected by a critical vulnerability that can be exploited by an unauthenticated attacker for remote code execution. The zero-day vulnerability tracked as CVE2022-26134 has been exploited in the wild. All supported versions of Confluence server and data center are affected. Users have been advised to prevent access to their Confluence servers from the internet or simply disable these instances. Users can also reduce the risk of attacks by using a firewall to block URLs containing $ and braces. CISA warns of critical vulnerabilities in Illumina genetic analysis devices. The US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued an advisory to warn of critical vulnerabilities in Illumina genetic analysis devices that could allow a remote unauthenticated attacker to take over an impacted product. The flaws affect Illumina Local Run Manager, LRM, which is used by sequencing instruments designed for clinical diagnostic use in the sequencing of a person's DNA, testing for various genetic conditions, as well as research. Illumina issued updates to prevent the remote exploitation of these bugs and is working on delivering full patches for them. Hundreds of Elasticsearch databases targeted in ransom attacks. Researchers from SecureWorks Counter Threat Unit, CTU, have identified indexes of multiple internet-facing Elasticsearch databases replaced with a ransom note. The threat actors set a 7-day deadline for the payments and threatened to double the demand after that. The CTU says the indexes reside on various versions of Elasticsearch and require no authentication to read or write. It says when a database requires remote access, organizations should implement multi-factor authentication to protect internet-facing services. Browser-in-the-browser extortion scam makes victims pay by imitating Indian government. The Zscaler Threat Labs team recently observed a new browser-in-the-browser attack impersonating an Indian government website to deliver a sextortion demand with the threat of releasing sensitive information about victims if they refuse to pay. This layered phishing attack appears to be the first of its kind, delivering a pop-up window that states a victim's browser is blocked due to repeated visits of pornographic websites prohibited by the Government of India. Attackers then prompt the victim with an extortion demand requiring them to enter a credit card and pay a fine to avoid being arrested by the police. Foxconn confirms ransomware attack struck its Mexico facility. Electronics manufacturers Foxconn has confirmed that in late May, one of its Mexico-based production plants was struck by a ransomware attack. Ransomware gang Logbit has claimed the responsibility for the attack. Logbit, a popular ransomware as a service operation, is threatening to leak data stolen from Foxconn until the company pays the ransom by June 11. A Foxconn spokesperson said, "The factory is gradually returning to normal. The disruption caused to business operations will be handled through production capacity adjustment." The cybersecurity attack is estimated to have little impact on the group's overall operations. US warns organizations of Karakor cyber extortion group. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, and the Department of Treasury published a joint cybersecurity advisory warning that paying ransom to the Karakor data extortion group won't stop the attackers from selling the stolen data. Typically, the Karakor hackers give their victims 1 week to make the payment, with ransom demands ranging between $25,000 and $13 million in Bitcoin. That's all for today. If you haven't yet subscribed to Saigenix channel, please click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to stay up to date with the latest cybersecurity news.